Hi everyone, my name is Anirudh and I am an engineer by profession. Today I'll be discussing about some important facts and formulas used in mechanical engineering subjects. What I'm going to teach you can also be utilized in different entrance exams, and also this is for your knowledge too. By thanking our teachers and the God's grace, let us start our subject, which will be fluid mechanics. So, let me get this. The name of our subject is fluid mechanics. There are some parameters which need to be studied, and we have been studying them since class 6, that are volume, mass and density, which can also be formulated as V is equals to M into rho. On the basis of these three quantities, we will define some properties of the fluids, which can be written as viscosity, kinematic viscosity, capillarity, incompressibility, and surface tension. Pressure is also an important quantity to be measured, for we know that pressure in general can be written as atmospheric pressure, absolute pressure, vacuum pressure, gauge pressure, and in fluids, manometric pressure. All of us know the formula of pressure, which can be termed as force divided by area or surface area. The units can be written as Newton per mm square. So all of you people can have a look on the board, maybe write it down, take a screenshot, or go through it however you feel. In fluid mechanics, an object can be placed in different types of orientation. for which we need to calculate some forces on the object in the fluid. For an object immersed in a liquid, let us write fluid. Since we are studying fluid, let us go with the fluid. The first condition is for horizontally immersed surface. Value of pressure can be calculated as P is equals to WA x bar, where W is the weight, A is the area, and x bar is the distance, which can be seen in the given figure. This is a free surface, this is an object having some center of gravity G, and this distance from the free surface to the object is known as x bar. Second condition arises for vertically immersed surface, which can also be calculated by h bar and written as Ig upon Ax bar plus x bar. This h bar is a contributing factor towards this term. The figure can also be interpreted as this is a free surface, this is a body which is vertically immersed, some center of gravity G, and a point where h bar will act. This distance is known as x bar, and this distance is known as h bar. Now third condition comes for inclined surface. Immersed in fluid. In this, angle comes into picture, that is h bar can be written as Ig sine square theta upon Ax bar plus x bar, which can be interpreted by this figure. This is free surface. Let us say this is an object inclined and submerged with some center line and gravity and centroid acting. Let us take this G, this is C. So the distance, this is x bar and this is h bar. For a curved surface, immersed total pressure value can be calculated as a resultant of horizontal pressure plus vertical pressure, and the angle at which this total pressure is acting can be calculated as theta is equals to tan inverse PV upon PH, which will be obtained from this expression. Now you people can have a look, write it down, go through it, take a screenshot, whatever it is. Now we are going towards the floating conditions of an object which can be above water or inside the water. For this, we will need to study some equilibrium states of the object. Equilibrium states of an object in a fluid. There are two conditions and three equilibriums which can be written as equilibrium states that are stable, unstable and neutral. S stands for stable, U stands for unstable and N stands for neutral. The conditions are for floating and submerged. For floating and submerged, two types of centers are being used. For floating body, we use meta center and center of gravity as a reference to define these terms: stable, unstable and equilibrium. And for a submerged body, we use center of buoyancy and center of gravity. So M here, G here, M, G, M and G. This is B and G, B and G and B and G. When meta center is above the center of gravity for a floating object, there will be a stable equilibrium. If meta center comes below center of gravity, the equilibrium becomes unstable, and if meta center and center of gravity both coincides, the body is in neutral equilibrium. Same goes with the submerged body. If center of body is above center of gravity, center of buoyancy is above. If center of buoyancy is above center of gravity, the body is in stable equilibrium. If B is below G, then unstable equilibrium, and if B and G coincides, then neutral equilibrium. With this comes into picture meta center. What is meta center? Meta center is the distance between center of gravity and metacentric height, which can be calculated as Gm is equals to Bm minus Bg, where this is the distance from metacenter and this is the distance from center of gravity. More Gm, that is more value of Gm, will mean more stable equilibrium. Further, the time period of oscillation, of a floating body can be written as T is equals to 2 pi under root k square upon hg. So let us make a table of this. We have wrote and you all can have a look, take a screenshot, go through it, write it down, whatever you want to do. So guys, I am Anirudh again. This is all for today. You can go through these and comment in the comment section whether you like it or not, or it was useful to you. Further, we will meet up in the next video. Thank you.